So it is like June 11th, June 12th. The last time we were here, there was just a lot of stuff going on everywhere, a lot of weeds. And so I'm going to tell you where we are now. So here's my thyme bed. The thyme was really tall. It was really hanging over. I cut it completely back, and that might scare some people, but all of it has started to grow right back in. Over here, I have these green onions, and you're probably thinking, like, aren't these green onions? Yes, but these little seeds can fly and root in. And because it wasn't really bothering me, I let these root in. I may pull them up later, but what I put inside of here are a couple of zucchini seeds. And I'm growing a new type of zucchini this year. These are Rise and Shine zucchini from Burpee Garden, and they're gonna grow up vertically, naturally. So I'm super excited about that and take up a little less space. And then here, this is for Mr. Barnes. Mr. Barnes loves arugula, so he has a whole entire bed of arugula. This can be harvested right now. You can let them get a little bit bigger, but this is his favorite leafy green, so he really loves this. And then here is my good old OG green onions and onion chives. The onion chives are pretty good. These are probably gonna be a little bit bitter, so soon I'll just chop these all down and I'll come right back up. So on this side of the garden, we have some other beds that have changed. You have our mint that's just doing what it wants to do. It's growing. My sons are out here a lot doing this. They put it in their drinks. It could be juice. They could make tea. So most of the harvesting has been done by them. Over here is what I like to call my little salad bed, and I'll tell you a little bit why. In this bed, I have two different sizes of tomatoes. So a little patio one and a little taller one. And then I have three basil plants. Most of us know that tomatoes and basil go great together in a salad, but they also cohabitate great together in a garden bed. Tomatoes will grow up high, they'll do the bottom part, and the tomatoes actually give shade so the basil is not getting too much sun. Because sometimes you can't plant certain plants together because they may take too much nutrients and may cause the other plant to die, but these two cohabitate well. Over here, I have some carmine peppers. I've never grown carmine peppers before, but peppers are peppers are peppers. You do the same format, and this is an eggplant. I've never grown an eggplant before. You didn't even see it mentioned on our garden planting video, but I was at a local farm here in Indianapolis, and they had some extra eggplant, and they said, do you want one? And I mean, I can't turn down a free plant, so we're gonna see what happens. So this is a learning experience for Gardener Shicole because we haven't done this before. And over here, we got our OG. Y'all know every year we have our bell peppers, and you're probably wondering, these are really big trellises for bell peppers. That's because at the bottom, which you may not be able to see yet because they're still coming up, we have put cucumbers here. So the cucumbers will come up around the trellis as the peppers are in the middle. This probably looks way different. So right here is our friend Tarragon. Tarragon was up all high, leaning all over. I chopped it down, and believe it or not, none of these stalks right here had any leaves on them. I chopped this down a couple weeks ago. All of these stems have tarragon on it. That's how fast tarragon grows. Behind the tarragon, the main reason I cut the tarragon down, besides the fact that there was too much of it, I wanted to put a tomato plant here. And if you remember, I've talked to y'all about the difference between indeterminate and determinate tomatoes. Determinate means it's going to stay short. Indeterminate means it can go on and on and on forever. And so I want this to have a good start because this will vine all the way up and all the way down. So if this was shadowing this, it wouldn't give this tomato plant a good opportunity to grow up. Over here, sage is just doing the most, to say the least. I'm saving this sage because I'll be working with some children in a few days, and they're going to get some of this sage. So the next time we do a garden update, this will be all cut back because I can put some other stuff back here. And then right here, you have the oregano. I dug out a little inlet there to throw another pepper in there. Because as you can see, there's so much oregano. That's way more than my family giving away to other family members that I need. So I just carved out a spot and put that there. So over here, we have lemon balm. Last year was the first time we grew lemon balm, and you're probably thinking to yourself, this looks very similar to mint. And it grows very similar to mint. It comes right back, and this is the first year that we've had it come back. So I'm super excited about it. It's growing slower than I thought it would grow in comparison to mint, but it's still growing pretty well. Behind it is our sorrel. We've had this sorrel, I don't know, going on 3+ years. So it comes back, we eat it, chop it down, we eat it, it's the whole thing. And then behind this, that farm I mentioned earlier also gave me some curly kale. There's an argument in my house, curly kale versus the dinosaur kale. The dinosaur kale, other name is placental kale. Which one is best for kale chips? So we'll debate that in some other video. Behind me are the strawberries. As you recall, last year I started by building this contraption here because there's a local farm, not the farm I got the kale from, but there's a local farm, Driving Wind farm that is here in Indianapolis, and they have their strawberries growing up, and I was thinking, like, how could I do that at my house with the limited skills that I have? So I bought this little bed with a trellis, and I took these pots and zip tied them, and I ordered some strawberries from Burpee. They came in a nice little box. They kept them moist, and I planted them. So there are strawberries coming. This is a makeshift cover for the bottom because this won't go over the bottom, and I already had some little animal eat one of my strawberries. I'm very upset about that. Behind me are some more strawberries, and I'm going to get some more. So I have about 6 plants here. All of this will be plants, and then I'm going to get a bungee cord and go around this to tie this down so nothing can just climb underneath and get in, because these animals be doing the most, and we want to eat our food. We don't want the animals to eat our food. And on our final stop of our garden update is this blackberry bush. At the end of last season, so it was like fall, I was at a local gardening store, as I tend to do at the end of fall, trying to get some deals. They had these dying, thornless blackberry plants. And I was like, thornless? Because I like to harvest food, but I don't like to get injured in the process. So I brought this little thing. I said, I'm going to waste like $20, or I'm actually going to get something for this. I threw it in the ground at the end of last season, and it has grown this big. So I put 2 of these trellises together. I actually zip tied them together, and then I brought this thing. So there's a zipper here, and it has a drawstring at the bottom. So I'm going to pull open the drawstring so you can see what's happening in here. And we have quite a few blackberries growing. They are green right now, but they will turn over and they get bigger. Delicious. But just like the strawberries, we want to eat them, not the animals, which is why we have to protect them and keep them covered. And when I harvest them, I can just go and unzip the side and harvest from the side, or I can do the drawstring as well. So that is the end of this garden update. Stay tuned to see where we are, and some of the beds that we missed will probably have something growing in them.
Remember, anyone can be a gardener. You just have to get ready, get set, and grow. Special thanks to Bree MG.